This is what's blooming in my garden on May 13th. This is a lupine, Russell lupine. I started it from seed, and it's the first one I've ever been able to get started. And after it grew for a year, I moved it out front here. I think it's a biennial because it didn't bloom last year, which means it'll bloom every other year. It makes seeds one year or grows the plant one year and then blooms the next year. This is a Columbine that I also started from seed out back and let it grow out there for 1 year, and then dug it up and moved it up here this year. And these are coral bells that I just bought, but they've got a lot of new growth on them since I bought them. And here's some irises that are blooming, and in the background there it's peonies and more of the irises. I like those peonies with the yellow center. And here's that same lupine again. It's native to Oregon, I think. It grows wild there. And these are some irises that I've had for years. This is a viola. I bought it this year, and that's just what the tag says is viola. I think it is a relation to violets, I don't know. And this is that same peony with the yellow center. I like that, the red petals and the yellow center. I like it much better than any of the other peonies I have. And this is Sweet William growing here. I think it's a Dianthus. It's also a biennial that I started from seed a few years back. And this is a hardy geranium, Cranesbill Geranium. This is another iris I have. It's a different color, the yellow. This is a hybrid Columbine. The other Columbine is a more wild one, but this has been hybridized to make the blooms bigger. And this is Clematis. It's growing on an arbor I've got out back over the path that goes into the garden. And this is on the other side. I have this dark purple and the light lavender on the other side. And this is right over the top of my potting bench in the garden. And I got strawberries back here, and you can see we got a few coming on. I don't have very many plants, but it looks like they're going to have a lot of strawberries on them. I had a strawberry bed over there where the raised bed is now, and I dug up some of them and put over here in the asparagus patch. So we'll see how that works. And here's a blueberry plant. I've only got one, And it looks like there might be some this year. I don't know. I've always thought you needed to have 2 of those to have them pollinated. So I don't know, have to wait and see. And here's that same hybrid columbine again. And there's some strawberries at the edge of the raised bed there where it was before. I got beets there on the end, and I don't think I got the ground wet enough, is why the carrots didn't come up. And these are radishes, and of course it looks like they're going to seed, so there won't be any radishes. Maybe I'll just leave them and see if the seed grows into radishes next year. I don't know. And there's peas. They're climbing up the trellis. These are things I planted out in March. And there are some things that you have to plant in March, and the rest of the ones over there that haven't started yet, I just planted those a few days ago. And here in Zone 5, we actually could still have a frost. I think I don't ever feel safe right up until May 15th, which is still a few days away. I think we're pretty safe, though, if we haven't had one by now. I planted a lot of marigolds here in the raised bed. And these raised beds I filled up with wood chips last year, and then just give them a covering of potting soil. And I think it should work pretty good, and it'll probably get better every year. The chips I got, I'm for sure a year old when I got them. There's the Clematis over there behind the potting bench. The Clematis has been there for several years now. I've got so many other things planted in there that it has to compete with. Roses and honeysuckle. And here right beside my potting bench also we got a tiger lily I transplanted just last year, and it's already 3 of them. And those hollyhocks looks like they're getting ready to bloom. I wouldn't think they get enough sun there, but they seem to be doing really good. And I just dug those up out front and planted them out here last year. I think it was toward the fall too, in the hot weather. That little thing there is a plant that volunteered, cosmos. Those are cosmos that volunteered from when I had them growing out here last year. And there's some chives growing right there. And here's some irises I just moved out here from out front last year. And then I got a couple rows of zinnias there, one on each side. We'll see how that works. And there's some cucumbers planted there on the ground, and some cantaloupe planted over there on the other side. Here's my compost tumbler. I just mix grass clippings and wood chips together, and then that makes a pretty good mulch. I usually leave it in there for a while, and it works pretty good. It's not quite compost yet, but it's a very good mulch. And thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.